say this from experience as not only a player but also as a coach. So what you actually need to focus on in volleyball and skill wise is first and foremost, because if you're like this, that's not gonna work. You're probably gonna get hit in the chest, which is not a fun deal. Say this ball's coming from the sky. The ball is always gonna go where your platform is pointing. It needs to land right there on my platform. And if you are interested in volleyball, you're probably doing this already. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's Jacoby again. Hi, what's up if you're new? Hey. So sometimes I get questions like, hey Jacoby, like I want to start volleyball, but what should I focus on? So we're gonna talk about what you should focus on if you are just starting volleyball or you're wanting to start volleyball and you don't know where to start. This video is for you. So basically how I got started in volleyball, I've touched on this a couple times, but long story short, I was a basketball player all my life, and then my sister wanted to try out for the volleyball team, and us being sisters, I was like, I'll practice with you. So then we were just practicing volleyball, and she taught me everything that she knew about volleyball, and I was like, oh, okay, like that's pretty cool. And then I was like, I kind of like this. So, and all my friends played volleyball, they played club volleyball. I was like, I guess I'll come. So I tried out and I made the team. So that's basically how I started playing volleyball. Now, what did I focus on when I was just in the beginning stages? I really focused on my passing and my serving. So I was outside every day for hours on hours on hours, just serving against the wall outside, or passing to myself against the wall, or practicing my hand contact against the wall, hitting against the wall. Literally anything I could do that was volleyball related, I was doing outside by myself. So you don't really need a partner, you don't need someone to be there with you. All you need is just a starting point, and hopefully this video will give that to you. So yeah, before we get into the next segment, if you're not following me already, what are you doing? Go follow me on Instagram. It's at jacoby.sims, jacoby.sims. I also have a vlog channel. It's more of a lifestyle vlog type deal. It's called Jacoby, Jacoby. Guess what? I also have a podcast, Secondhand Embarrassment. That's in the description. It's on Anchor, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Pocket Cast, it's on a lot of places, so go check that out. Also, plot twist, I have merch. It's on Teespring. Also, it's in the description, so you can go check all the links out. All right, that's the end of the self-plug segment. Now back to the video. All right, and so now I'm gonna give you some actionable things to actually focus on, because I know I can tell you like, just be yourself and just be confident, but there's more to it than that. So what you actually need to focus on in volleyball and skill wise is first and foremost, passing. Passing is absolutely huge in volleyball, obviously, because you can't run an offense without a pass first or something of that nature. So say you're playing defense, you need to get a dig to actually run your offense. Say you're playing serve receive and they serve to you, you have to get a pass to actually score a point. So this is so important, and what you really need to focus on first and foremost is your platform. So you can't just have a loosey-goosey platform like this. You can't be like this, or this. It has to be firm, straight out. Also, my arms are double jointed, so don't come for me. That's why it looks very strange, but arms are gonna be straight out. Fist over, locked out, and your elbows, I mean my elbows touch, but I don't know if that's normal, but also my arms are double jointed, but that's as close as my forearms are gonna get. Some people are like this and they're very, very tight in their platform, but I can't do that because my arms are double jointed. But you need to have a nice locked out elbow and a nice firm platform, and you want to make sure your shoulders are rolled over and they're not like this, because if you're like this, that's not gonna work. You're probably gonna get hit in the chest, which is not a fun deal. Your shoulders need to be rolled over, head down, because you don't want to go like this, because usually if you look up, that means your platform's gonna go up, but you always want your platform to be down. So head down, looking at your platform, nice and firm. Now we're gonna talk about the forearms. So the forearm is obviously where you're gonna contact the ball, or maybe that's not obvious to some people, I don't know. But yeah, that's where the ball is actually going to land. So I have my mini volleyball here. This is my pride and joy, my baby. So your forearm is where you're gonna contact the ball. So say this ball's coming from the sky. It needs to land right there on my platform. It can't just be here, here, or definitely not here, because that ball will shank so fast. So you want to hit it nice and firm on the side of your forearm, not here because that's just painful, not on the back of it, but literally right on the side. And you want to, ideally, you want to hit it in the middle of your forearm. So, okay, once again, I'm sorry because I have double joint arms, but you want to hit it right where your forearms are touching. So, if your forearms touch, mine don't, but whatever. So yeah, your forearm's really important because that's how you're gonna get the ball to the setter, and also that way you can control the ball more. So like I said, if you hit the ball like on your thumbs or anywhere lower than your forearms, like your wrist or your fingers, the ball's gonna shoot really fast and have a really nasty spin to it, and it's gonna be harder for your setter to set the ball. So you want to get the most control over the ball by hitting it in the middle of your forearm, and that way the ball won't like do all that. It'll just be nice and slow and to the setter. But if you hit it here, it's gonna die before it gets to the setter, and that's not good either. So yes, forearm and hitting it in the center of your forearms is really, really important. Next, you want to focus on having as little movement in your platform as possible. And what I mean by that is when you're passing, you don't want to be moving your platform like this or this when the ball's coming, because the ball's gonna go God knows where. The ball's always gonna go where your sorry, I don't know why I do that. The ball's always gonna go where your platform is pointing. So if you're like this, you can't expect the ball to go like that, because how does that directionally make sense, you know? So you always wanna make sure that you're not moving your platform too much, and you wanna stick your platform. Meaning, say someone's serving to you, and they serve to you, and you were like this at the last second, that ball's gonna move to the right or whichever direction you went. So if you're like there, because I'm guilty of this sometimes, the ball will be coming and I'm here, I'm ready for it, and then at the last second I make a little twitch move, and it's not even, I'm not even doing that on purpose, it just sometimes happens, and I twitch a little bit to the right or the left, and that ball, it was gonna be perfect, and then it just shanks to the right or shanks to the left, because the little bit of movement will react through the ball, and then the ball will be skewed either way. So make sure you're moving as little as possible. That also applies to defense, but we're not talking about defense right now, or digging the ball, because that is not something that is super necessary in the beginning stages of volleyball, because no one's gonna be hitting that hard at you to where you have to dig a ball. So it's really about free ball passing and serve receive. So next is keeping your shoulders low. Like I was saying earlier, just don't have high shoulders, because the ball, your platform, your arms are gonna follow your shoulders, obviously. So if you're like this, your platform's gonna go up. If you're like this, your platform's gonna go down. So your platform is really important, but your shoulders are the most important, because that's what's controlling your arm. Next with your platform is to keep your thumbs down. So when you're passing, you don't want, well, first of all, to keep yourself safe, you don't want your thumbs like this, because that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. So you wanna keep your thumbs down. Also, if you do your platform like this, same thing applies. Thumbs down. See how my thumbs are down? Even with this way, thumbs are down. And that way you'll get more control of the ball, and also once again that will keep your shoulders down, and it kind of creates that downward pressure, so your platform is more angled so it doesn't go up, but rather it goes out. So that's a great tip to know, is keep your thumbs down. Next, we're gonna talk about some passing techniques. So once again, I said passing is very important, because really at the beginning stages of volleyball, and I say this from experience as not only a player but also as a coach, because I used to coach a club team. It was 11s, so these girls were about 10, 9 years old. So really where you're scoring your points in the beginning stages of volleyball is your serve and your passing, and that is pretty much it. So that's why I'm really harping on passing and serving. So passing is mega important, obviously. First thing you want to focus on is not swinging your arms when you're passing. So if the ball is coming to you like this, you don't want to like swing your arms up, because when you swing you lose your control, and that's really what volleyball is about, is ball control. Like that's like the foundation of volleyball, is ball control. So when you swing your arms all willy-nilly, you don't know where the ball's gonna go, and that's a problem. And that also ties into the minimal movement I was talking about with your platform. You don't want to swing your arms, it's just not gonna go well. So, and you want to control the ball as much as you can when you're a beginner, because you don't really have that touch, that ball control yet. So you want to start like improving your ball control by not swinging your arms and practicing good habits. So don't swing your arms, please. Next with passing, you want to make sure you're using your legs, and that ties in hand with swinging your arms, because I feel like a lot of younger players or beginner players think that you have to swing your arms and that's where the power is generated from. I'm here to tell you that the ball, you will pass better if you use your legs instead of your arms to generate power. So some people say like, oh, I can't get the ball to the target without swinging my arms. That is not true. It's not true, because you really just have to use your booty, your legs, and everything to push through the ball to give it that motion instead of swinging your arms. Because if you're using your base and your legs, that means that you have a bunch of control and you can control where the ball goes rather than kind of guessing by swinging. So I hope you take that into account. If you do that, don't do it anymore. So now we're going to touch on serving, which is the second most important thing I would focus on if I was starting out volleyball or wanted to get interested in it, is serving. Serving is so important. Like I said, serving is really how you score points in the beginning volleyball stages, because if you have a good serve, 9 times out of 10 the other team's not going to be able to return your serve, and that's just a point for your team. First and foremost, you want to have a high toss when you're serving. If you just toss like eye level, your arm's going to be low, and that means the ball's going to go into the net. So you want to toss the ball nice and high, so you have to reach up and serve high, and that way you'll get it actually over the net rather than in the net or under the net. So yeah, high toss is very important. Also, it gives you time because if your arm's not fast, like, okay, maybe I could get away, or like an older player can get away with tossing low and just driving through because your arm is fast enough. But when you're a beginner, you need to toss high so you can give yourself time to like get your arm back and to step through and swing through the ball. Next is you want to have a firm contact, so you can't have like a loosey-goosey hand or wrist or arm. Like, you can't just be like relaxed. You have to be firm and strong. So you can't just be like this, or you can't have like I'm really guilty of this. You can't have like a closed hand. You need to have a nice spread out hand, because if you think about it, the more surface area that you have, the better chance you have of contacting the ball correctly, aka a better chance of the ball going over the net and where you want it to go. So don't have like a little pageant hand. That's my coach used to call me Miss Alabama because I would always have my hand like in a pageant hand, but you have to open up your hand and keep it nice and strong. Next, you want to work on, it's like serving is like almost high-fiving the ball. That's how I was taught. So you want to high five. When you're giving someone a high five, you're usually nice and firm and, ow, I kind of missed my hands, but you know what I'm saying. You want to high five the ball like that. And that way you'll get a nice strong contact and it'll go where you want to go. So thinking of it as high-fiving someone is a great idea, because you can like think like, oh, I'm high-fiving someone, woo. Or some people used to say like, oh, think the ball is someone you don't like and just smack it. So if you want to do that, I don't condone violence, but if you want to do that, you can do it. So next is aiming at a certain spot on the ball. It will really help your contact. So I will show you. So on my little mini ball, you can see where the air goes in right there. That's where you want to aim to contact the ball. And that's only really just a mental thing. Like, that way you'll have an aiming spot on the ball almost, and that way you can really get a good serve. By hitting the same spot every time, your contact is bound to be good, especially because this is in the middle of the ball technically. If you're trying to just hit a nice firm float serve, then hitting it in the middle of the ball will give you that, and you can do that by aiming at the little air pump hole thing, whatever that's called. Yes. So next, you want to swing hard but in control. I see a lot of beginners just kind of swing wildly at the ball, and I'm here to say that's not it. You should not do that, because you want to swing in control. Once again, volleyball is about control. So if you're just swinging willy-nilly, you don't know where the ball is going to go. It could go to the left, to the right, under the net, down, out. You have no idea. It could go over, who knows? But volleyball is about consistency, so you want to make sure that you're consistently swinging the same. So you don't want to swing like this one ball, and then this the other, and then like that the other. So you really want to have a nice firm swing every single time. And also, I encourage you to figure out some kind of serving routine, whatever is comfortable for you. Say you bounce the ball, slap it, and then you toss and go, or you dribble, spin, slap, go, whatever makes you comfortable. Just try to think of a serving routine to do every single time before you serve, because serving is really about focus. And if you have a little pre-serve ritual to do it if that makes you feel better, and then you can get the ball over. But yeah, having a little pre-serve routine is also a good way to focus. Take a deep breath, calm down, and serve. So next is to use your opposite hand when you're serving. So meaning not actually contacting the ball, like you're not swinging with your non-dominant hand, but what you can do is track your ball with your opposite hand. So I'm a righty, so you're gonna be tossing with your left, of course, so, but once you toss it up, your arm, once you toss it up, your arm's gonna be like this, and the ball's gonna be up there. What you can do is flip that arm and track the ball and swing through. So it's kind of another aiming mechanism that you can use if you need to, even though I encourage everyone to do that. Even I still even do that now, just because it's just a good habit to form, and also can translate over to hitting on the net. But just tracking the ball will lessen the mistakes you make, lessen the errors, and also it's really good for hand contact because you're tracking it and you're just replacing. So that's also a really good method. Lastly, this is the most important, oh my god, is to step into the ball. When I'm coaching little girls, I'm like, please just step into the ball. It will change your life, because they're trying to get all their power from their arm. I'm like, you're not strong enough for that yet, so you have to use your body. You have to use your full body, and that doesn't mean like just wildly throw your body into the ball. Once again, it's all about control. So the reason why you want to toss high is you can step into the ball and swing. And once you're stepping into it, that means you're incorporating your booty, your legs, your core, and your arm, and your shoulder, and your back. So it's not just your arm that's trying to get the ball over the net. Now it's pretty much your whole body trying to get the ball over the net, and you have a much better chance of doing that because your whole body is a lot stronger than just one arm. So think about that. Lastly, just to leave y'all with some intangible things that is really important if you want to start volleyball, is just to have an open mind. Don't come into tryouts, or don't come into just experimenting with volleyball set on one thing, because you really never know what you can do and what you can't do. So don't limit yourself by being closed-minded or being like, I'm gonna be a hitter, so this is the only thing I'm gonna practice. That's not how it works. Everyone needs to be good at everything, so don't close yourself off to different opportunities or different skills, because you really never know what you will end up actually being good at. So just don't come in with an open mind. Be able to receive whatever comes to you, basically. Next is just don't beat yourself up. Shockingly, I never did that when I was coming up in volleyball, or when I was starting to teach myself. I never beat myself up just because I didn't know anything. Like, I didn't know any better, so I was just trying my best and I was having fun with it. So just have fun with it instead of just being like, I have to be perfect, I have to do this, because putting pressure on yourself just kind of sucks, and then you won't really have fun, and you won't have fun in the process of trying to get better. So just like relax and just do the work, but don't beat yourself up about like not being able to get a skill, or not being able to get your serve over, or not getting a perfect pass every time. Like, I can tell you, even when I'm in college, I still miss my serve. I still hit in the net. I still err. I still, like, it's just a part of the game. So once you accept that erring is a part of the game, you will be fine. Also, you want to be patient with yourself, as I was just saying. Like, you're not going to get a skill overnight. Just how if you have a long-term goal, it's not going to happen overnight. So you can't expect to get your serve perfect overnight, or you can't expect to be jump serving if you haven't mastered the standing serve yet. So it's really just about process and enjoying that process and just being patient. Next, this is my personal favorite. This is what I love to do, and if you are interested in volleyball, you're probably doing this already, but it's to learn as much as you can. And that means watching volleyball tutorials on YouTube, watching me. I'm kidding, I'm not kidding. Watching volleyball games, watching men's volleyball. I'm telling you guys, when I started watching men's volleyball, I swear to God, I got better. And I'm not kidding. Just because men's volleyball is so different than women's, that you can learn a thing or two from men's volleyball. Like the way they move, the way they dive, the way they hit balls, the way they use their shots. Like, it's just overall, it's a good experience to see different kinds of volleyball. And that's why I encourage you to go on the YouTubes and look up anything you can and read it, love it, watch it, whatever, get as much information as you can. So because what I did is that I watched all different kinds of volleyball, and that way you can kind of, it's almost like you can mimic what other people are doing. Like personally, what I could do is watch a men's volleyball game, and I saw that this guy did a really cool dive. Next thing I know, I was doing it. I don't know how, I didn't teach myself, I was just watching it and I was like, okay, I could probably do that, and I did it randomly, and I was like, okay, like I shocked myself. So what I would do, I searched, like when I was younger, I still do this, I still watch volleyball because I just find it interesting, obviously, but I searched like high school boys volleyball, men's college volleyball, USA men's volleyball. There's also a bunch of other like foreign countries that do volleyball, so I watch like Iran or like Russia, China, literally whatever you can find, watch it, because everyone has a different style. So for example, in Puerto Rico, they play a very different style than they would in America. So it's just very eye-opening to see like how other people play, and you can learn like different shots and different angles, and it's so freaking cool. So I highly suggest to do that. Also, you can search up women's volleyball, like obviously you can search up D1, D2, D3, NAIA, junior college, high school, club, literally there's so much out there that you can learn from. So I encourage you to just search it up, learn as much as you can, watch as much as you can, and just take it all in and absorb it, and you will be golden. That's my tips. That's how I did it, you guys. So yo. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I really hope you liked it. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see from me. I post volleyball stuff, obviously. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that for me. I would love if you did. Like this video if you want to help me grow. And I'll see you guys when I see you next, which is going to be Monday. Peace out. Bye.